And we don't really talk about how we're gonna start.
And that was Jay Thompson with Empty Room and Faith Worship before that with Joy is coming in a bit of charity gale with Thank You Jesus for the blood. Apologies for that one. It was a technical glitch. All right, it is a Motivational Monday here on Reaching Higher on Link FM. If you're just tuning in, my name is Bantu Bongani. Thank you so much for joining me and listening in on a Monday. In fact, every single day, because Reaching Higher is Monday to Friday between 9:30 and 12 o'clock. So on Mondays, we try and empower, various listeners and people that engage with us, the show, because or through this segment, which is titled Climbing the Career Ladder, which is very, very important. A lot of people don't realize that some people feel as though they're stuck in a career, or they're stuck in their job, and so we want growth, and so I then approached Kodani at the beginning of this year, and I was like, sis, I see what you're doing, and I would love for you to impart your knowledge with the listeners of Link FM. So good morning and welcome back to Link FM, Kodani.
Thank you, Bantu, and good morning to all the listeners.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and I just want to say thank you so much for the love. I'm seeing like your comments on social media, and really, it's really encouraging me.
This is good.
To keep coming.
And I was having a chat with you off air that, last week I spoke to Denga, who is King D Music, and he was like, I see Kodani is one of the features on Reaching Higher, and he was like, I used to go to school with her, and I'm like, what a small world.
Tell me about it. When I saw that you'll be interviewing him, I was like, wow, it's actually a small world.
It's very small, but it's beautiful because it means that we can grow together, we can support one another. So Kodani, for anybody who doesn't know who you are, can you tell the listener who is Kodani and what you're passionate about?
Yeah. So as I mentioned from the beginning of the show, or when I started rather, I am Kodani Tlajoyo, and I'm really passionate about education. And education is really, I love to see everyone around me growing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I started Career and Corporate Hub, just a hub of information about careers, about corporate. And this was really driven from my past experiences, how I would have loved my career to turn out from the beginning. I had so many mistakes that I made. Yes, they made me the person who I am today, but I wouldn't want somebody else to go through those mistakes. So that's why I thought, why not create a manual to survive corporate, or to navigate corporate, and also your career from high school up to top of the ladder.
Like being like the ultimate CEO, goal, or the ultimate role in your career.
Exactly.
Now, when we first started with this, we spoke about there's a very high unemployment rate.
Correct.
So could be somebody who's applying everywhere. They're applying for positions that or posts that they are finding, but now some people don't even get the call back to say, okay, you've been shortlisted. And one of the things or reasons that this could be is because their CV is not aligned to the system.
Definitely.
Tell us about that.
So last year, I think December, I actually posted a video to say I would like to support 10 people with their CVs. And this was really from when I was looking at my mentee's CV. And I thought there's a lot that we can improve from their CV.
Mm-hmm.
So when I posted that video on TikTok, and a lot of people came and they sent me their CVs, and I was seeing common mistakes.
Oh my word.
And these common mistakes are coming from people who have degrees, like they've maybe freshly graduated from university. Some have been looking for jobs for like 3 years. Some have been working, but they want greener pastures. And then looking at the common mistakes that people make, I thought maybe I could help. I started researching about CV writing, and not only researching, also from my position, I do shortlisting. And sometimes when you look at CVs, you feel like this could be improved. And looking at really the numbers of unemployment rate, we are all fighting for one position.
100%.
So the first thing that would talk for you is your CV.
Okay.
So therefore, your CV should really stand out.
Because I mean, you don't know who's gonna get your application.
Correct.
So the
correct.
person is reliant on your CV.
Correct. And I always say, look at your CV as a shopping catalog.
Okay.
When shops advertise their products, they start back then it was catalogs, but now with social media, you see on social media. So now before you even go to the shop, you've already maybe seen from the catalog
what's your offer.
So now when you construct your CV, look at it that way. Like, what do you want your CV to say about you?
Okay.
So you need to put in an effort, because that's the first thing that will get to your potential employer to be reviewed. And what does it say about you? So now I saw a lot of mistakes, like for an example, people writing in essays and looking at how much time the recruiters or hiring managers have. They only have like 5 seconds to look at your CV, for an example, because now due to high unemployment rates, a lot of people are applying for the same position. So now the numbers are so high that you don't have the whole day or the time to look at someone's CV and try to understand what is written.
Okay.
So looking at that, you really need to
downscale it, perhaps.
Correct.
To fit that position that you're applying for. Is that what, okay?
Yes. You have to downscale it. You have to really, and I also listed like the do's and don'ts on your CV, so that it can also be easier for people to follow when they create their CV. For an example, keep your CV short and neat. It has to look very professional, because when you're applying for a professional job, you need to show from your CV that you are professional. So even the language that you're using, you have to use simple language. Different companies use different jargons.
Okay.
If you apply for a job in maybe company X, you're coming from company Y, and you're using the language that you're using in company Y, remember the first person who will receive your CV will be HR.
Okay.
And you could be applying for a job in another department where HR does
or
not
even
understand.
Profession.
Yes, and HR doesn't understand your job description. So now they won't be able to easily understand the jargons that you're using from the previous job. So that's why it's quite important that when you are constructing your CV, you need to use simple language. And I always say, don't have a standard CV. Always modify your CV according to the job advert and the job description that you're applying for. Because if you're using the job advert as your reference, it will help you to use the language that the company that you're applying for is using.
Oh, wow.
Right? So that can also help you to get shortlisted.
Okay.
And another thing that a lot of people do, that like now they put their picture. I'm so much against the picture, because I feel like it's so destructive. Already when you send me your CV, I'm looking at your picture and I'm like thinking, would this person gel?
But this is the
with
thing.
The team?
Does that even matter what the person even looks like?
It doesn't. We want your experience. Your experience matters. So now already, if you put a picture, it's so destructive that the person who's receiving your CV, or recruiters or hiring managers, they start focusing more on your work experience, but rather the picture, that whether you're going to gel with the team or not gel with the team. Because a lot of managers, although they're looking for experience, they also want to hire people who've got good attitude.
Okay.
Because if you don't have a good attitude, you won't be able to be trainable. So they want to look at that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other don'ts should somebody not do on their CV? What other aspects have you picked up that people are failing when it comes to their CV?
Yeah, I mean, putting your marital status, I don't think that's necessary. It just makes your CV too long.
Okay.
You want the first page of your CV to have enough details about yourself, so that you like the most important part of your CV shouldn't be on the second page. So marital status,
your address.
Your address, maybe PO box.
Okay.
Your address is important because due to high unemployment rate, some companies are hiring people that are within a specific radius.
Okay.
For an example, when you're in Eastern Cape, that is quite important that you should include on your CV that you stay in Eastern Cape. And sometimes they want somebody to start immediately, so that could work at your advantage.
Alright.
They can hire you immediately. So
Okay.
yeah. And also, do not lie about your previous work experience, because these are some of the stuff that people get caught on when
Yes.
during the interview. So you can't lie about your past
Even your
experience.
qualification, by the way.
You
Some
can't.
people put out qualifications, and then down the line, and we've seen it in the news, you get to
can't.
realize actually this person doesn't have this qualification.
Yes, a lot of companies now do MIE checks where they verify your qualifications, your criminal record. So before they hire you, a lot of companies are doing that. So if you lie about your qualification and also your criminal record, if it's asked during the interview, then they will find out. Yeah, so those are the things that are really like criminal record, marital status. You don't really have to put there. And I think also like refrain from using I, my, me. From a lot of CVs that I've been reviewing, I see a lot of people are using I, my, me, and it makes your CVs too long. Like instead of using the same language that you see on the job advert.
Okay.
Like look at the job description on the job advert. That should be your guide on how you should write your job description or previous work experience or responsibilities rather. So what you see on the job advert should be your guide, as
Okay.
well as the skills that are there as well should also be your guide. So
Can we talk about the skills?
Yeah.
So now, for example, there might be skills of I'm trying to think of a skill that is like so simple, but yet recruiters are looking at those skills. How do we put them on our CV?
look at what the job advert is asking. You know, information is given, but we choose to avoid, or we don't know. Like the a job advert has enough information that you can modify your CV to, or tailor your CV
Okay.
to suit the job that you're applying for.
All right.
So like skills, don't just write any skills that you have. Look at what the skills they're looking for,
Okay.
and modify your CV according to those skills, but don't lie.
But this is what I was going to ask when you
Yeah.
say don't lie. Now, what if these skills I've never experienced the skill per se or acquired that skill? Do I write it down? It's part of the job advert, right? That is required, but yet I don't have the experience of that skill.
I mean, it could be skills. Could be maybe. Excuse me. Sorry.
Like for example, if the skill is cold calling,
Yeah.
and I've never done cold
Yeah.
calling before,
Yeah.
do I write it down?
I mean, if it's feasible for you to learn in like a short space of time, you can write it down. I'm a big believer of potential. If
Okay.
I see that there is potential can be harnessed.
Okay.
You know, so I'm a big believer of that. And if you see that this is the skill they're looking for and it's easy to learn, and you see yourself as a potential, please learn it before you go for an interview.
Okay.
For the job. I mean, when you start the job.
All right.
Because when you start the job, they'll put you on a probation period, so you need to show that you have the experience. You have the experience.
Or you teachable. They also want to see that in probation that
100%.
you are teachable. You are
100%.
willing to learn.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I mean, things are done differently in different companies. So now a lot of people want to see that, or hiring managers want to see that the person they're hiring are teachable because of that. Yeah.
Now we were just touching on experience, and you write experience, what you've done. Now, how do you write a CV but you don't have any experience? You're fresh out of school.
Great.
You want to go into the market or the job career, but yet you don't have that experience. And most of these job adverts say you must have experience.
Yeah.
So what do you write on your CV?
That's actually a good question. I always advise. I get that a lot as well on my social media. Like I recently just graduated. I'm looking for a job, but I don't have any work experience.
Okay.
So a lot of graduates don't know that when they after they graduate, they need to do their internship,
Okay.
and they are or graduate program,
Yes.
they look for a job instead of
Looking for the internship.
Yes, because I believe that internship or a graduate program would help you to really build your career,
Get the experience.
and get, like, proper experience.
Okay.
Where when you get into an internship or a company, you'll be given an opportunity to learn, because you are there to learn. So now, going into what to include when you don't have an experience, you have to include your modules. It can be either your major modules from university, because some modules are shared within different qualifications.
Mm-hmm.
For an example, if you have studied logistics and you are looking for an internship, you can also apply for internships under supply chain.
Mm-hmm.
So never really only look at, when you have studied logistics, that you're only going to look for logistics internships. So you must look at the modules that you have done during your studies. And that also goes to people who've studied public management. And I'm mentioning public management because this is one of the most like a course with high unemployment rates. And when they're looking for jobs, they're looking for jobs under public management. They don't look at the modules that they have studied during their degree or their diploma. So you find that they've studied procurement, they've studied finance, so they can also work in those fields. So when they're looking for a job, they need to then add those modules on under their qualification. And looking at also what the internship advert or graduate program advert is looking for, skills are always specified. So always have your skills there. Yeah, that's quite important.
All right, if you're just tuning in now, we are having a chat with Kordani Shwatrayo, and she is from Career and Corporate Hub. You know, she's so passionate about empowering individuals on climbing the corporate ladder, climbing the career ladder, and we see it from what she shares. I mean, today we're talking about CV writing and the way you just imparting and giving us this information free of charge. By the way, you're not
correct.
You don't say to people, okay, come to me, I'll give you this research advice by charging, because you want to see people empowered, and we need it because we've got a high unemployment rate in our country. So we just spoke about, if anybody doesn't have an experience, and what do they put on their CV? I mean, they probably fresh out of high school, fresh out of varsity, and you encouraging them to get into an internship program or a graduate program. Now, that thing of applying, different jobs that you're finding online, applying everywhere, always, is that useful or not useful?
It's not useful at all. I mean, I've seen people saying that I've been applying and I apply for like 50 jobs in one day. And in you applying for 50 jobs in one day, when do you get a chance to check the applications that you've applied for? I always say, when you are job hunting, look at it as you want to create relationships with HR or recruiters. So that means that the first thing you have to do, you have to look at the requirements on your CV, on the job advert, and tailor your CV to meet the job advert. After you've sent your application, like now they've got application tracking systems or artificial intelligence CV writing.
And we touched on that the last time.
Yes, and a lot of people are worried about this as well, that I've been applying, but I'm not getting shortlisted. Maybe it's because of my CV, because of the application tracking systems that the companies are using, or the job portals that the companies are using. And with 50 applications that you're doing a day, you're not doing yourself any favor. Look at like reducing the numbers. Look at tailoring your CV to match what the job is requiring. And from that, when you apply, call the agencies, call the companies to find out if they have received your CV.
All right.
And
I wouldn't be pestering them. I wouldn't be like opposing or being forward if I do that.
Not at all. I actually wanted to say your approach could be, I have applied or I've been applying for like at your company, but I've never received any feedback. I would like to find out if you do receive my CV. If they say they do, then and you're not getting any callbacks, ask for feedback as well.
Wow.
Feedback is very important because it will build your CV. Like it will
100%.
improve your CV. So work more on like getting feedback, and so that can work. Reduce the number of applications that you're doing a day. Just follow up on each job that you're applying for.
Okay.
And see where it takes you.
Wow.
That can help you to not only grow from improving your CV, but also in other areas. And it will help you to create relationships with HR. When you apply and they see your name and you've followed up before, they are more likely to shortlist you. And if they see that you ask for feedback from why you were not getting shortlisted and how you can improve your CV, then
they see that you're
they see that
determined.
you're determined. Exactly. So you also need to let them know that you are very much interested in working for the company. So I mean, if you're polite, I don't think somebody you're overstepping.
Okay.
Exactly. So
Alright.
so that's really what the approach that people can take, and instead of applying for each and every job that they see.
I get you, and I think we are not engaging or educating ourselves
Not
on
at
this,
all.
you
Not
know.
at all.
So we still just sit back and be like, oh, I'm not getting employed, I'm not getting
Yes.
shortlisted. But are we doing the research? Are we getting the feedback from these companies that we're applying for? So this information that you're sharing with us, Kodani, is so crucial. Now, if anybody wants to engage with you further, if they want to know more about how they can climb the career ladder or how they can improve their CV writing skills, how can they get a hold of you? Where can they follow you on social media as well?
Yeah, so I've been also helping a lot of people with CV review, and I'm quite happy with the feedback that I'm getting. A lot of people have gotten their dream jobs,
Wow.
and some are getting interviews. And with interviews also, like, you learn from, if you don't get hired, you learn from that interview. That's why you also need to ask for feedback if you don't get hired, as to where can you improve. And you can contact me. I mean, you can get hold of me at on Instagram at Kodani_H. TikTok is on Career and Corporate Hub, and then LinkedIn, which is currently my favorite social media, because that's where, if you want to connect with other professionals, you can use LinkedIn. And also job hunting, LinkedIn is so good. So it's Kodani Hladwayo.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kodani, for sharing this insight about CV writing. And if anybody would like to know more of how you can contact Kodani, you are more than welcome to WhatsApp me in the studio, and I'll share those details with you. I think maybe let's also, when you're back again, can we touch on LinkedIn?
Oh, definitely.
Because for me, I see LinkedIn, and I don't know, maybe other people out there, like, I have a profile on LinkedIn, but I don't know how to work it. So let's have the discussion one day. I don't know what the program looks like on the next climbing the career ladder segment with Kodani.
I'm so happy to touch on that. I do get a lot of people asking, can you please help me tailor my profile on LinkedIn? So yeah, I'm happy to support with that. And LinkedIn can also help you get a job very quickly. I had one of my mentees who graduated, and she was not finding any opportunities, and I told her, please post your profile on LinkedIn. This is how you must post it. And she posted, she got so many responses. She had to choose, like, which one to go for. So LinkedIn helps a lot as well.
I'm looking forward to that conversation in the next time you are back with us in studio. And if you have any questions or any information that you would like Kodani to share with us here on Reaching Higher, you can also send it to us via WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number, one more time, is 072-942-9270. That was beautiful.